Welcome to this MBA course of MMPH 001, Block 1 and Unit 2. This Unit 2 is related to the subject theoretical frameworks applicable to the organization. I am Professor Sudhir Chandra Patra going to present this topic with some discussion. Objective of this unit is broadly related to the significant objective for understanding various theoretical framework applicable to different organizations as per the following historical objectives and important theories, which will be discussed in detail later on. Coming to the introduction, we find that designing effective organizational system should be scientifically based and forward-looking. The direct correlation between the firm's goal and performance makes it necessary to determine how an organization should be designed, and the designing an effective organizational system should be scientifically based and forward-looking. Different organizational theories refer to a series of academic viewpoints which attempt to explain the multiplicities of organizational structure and operating process. So from the introduction, it is very clear that there are different theories established, developed, and considered to be important for effective organization. So from this point of view, let us discuss different historical perspectives and the theories applicable to the organizations. Coming to the historical perspectives, we find that the work on organization theories started in the year 1850s, and the roots can be found in Gulick's 1937 as per the study on the notes on the theory of organizing. During the year 1950s, studies were carried out that started promoting and talking about the modern organizational theories and the comparison of organizational theories. In totality, it may be concluded that organizational theory comprises of scientific management, industrial psychology, industrial engineering, and modern organizational systems. Then let us go to different theories which will be briefly stated here. Now coming to the organizational theory, we find it is related to the study of the structure, functioning, and performance of organization and the behavior of individuals and groups within it, means within the organization. The following important theories should be considered for effective organization. So these are: number one, traditional theory; number two, human relation theory; third, decision making theory; fourth, modern theory; five, contingency theory; next, motivation theory; next, scientific management theory; and administrative theory. So these are some important theories. There are also some other theories which may be considered for effective organization. Now coming to the first one, traditional theory. This traditional theory concentrates on the formal structure of organization and leaves the human aspect of organization to personal specialists. The writers on organization and their successors to the present day have discussed how to plan for the successful organization work. The emphasis is on structural framework in which group activities are assigned to different people with authority relationship and proper establishment with individual efforts which are properly coordinated with responsibility fixed on them so that they will perform the work in time as per the requirement, as per the quality. The structure is built to help for the accomplishment of enterprise goals more effectively. So we find that under traditional theory, there are necessities of structures to be developed, and as per the development of the structure, different relationships among the persons and the leaders should be considered so that there can be effective organization. Next theory is human relation theory. The human relations theory states that while designing and organization of a structure, the people employed there and their behavior should be taken into consideration. No manager can think solely of job descriptions, so he has to think of why people behave as they do and what influences their behavior. So the behavior of individual people should be considered by the managers, and from this point of view, there is importance of human relationship. There should be proper relationship in between the managers and the low-level employees, so that through proper relationship, proper cooperation, there can be coordination in the work performed by in the organization, and the purpose can be achieved. So, under this theory, we find that Hawthorne studies and many subsequent ones have shown that the way the people behave at work is affected by many other factors than monetary consideration. The organization is composed of individuals with different needs that can be studied and of groups of people who develop their own ways of doing things and their own code of conduct. So these individual attitudes, individual behaviors of different employees found in the organization should be given importance. They are very significant to maintain human relationship required for the organization. The next theory is decision making theory. So, as the name indicates, this theory is related to effective and correct decision making, which should be timely as per the purpose. Under defective organization, we find that the decision making is very important to perform the work required for the achievement of the goal. So, in an organization, if we find the important decisions are not appropriate and not applicable to all levels, so important decisions should be considered as very significant and may be taken at the higher levels. The decision-making approach to organization accepts the hierarchical structure with different levels. So this hierarchical structure relates to different levels, different stages in the organization. As per the organization chart, we find top level, middle level, low level, etc. The organization structure should be designed through the examination of the points at which decisions must be made and the persons from whom information must be required if decisions are to be satisfactory. So now from this point we find that in order to have effective organization structure and in order to take proper decisions, we have to consider the individual opinion and collect information from different persons connected with the decision so that decision can be more appropriate, more effective, more applicable for the benefit of the organization. Next theory is modern theory. Under modern theory, we find that it is applicable to modern organizations as the name indicates. This theory is composed of the ideas with different approaches to management development. So different approaches are taken for the development of management and effective organization. So this approach is fully based on empirical research data and has the integrating nature. So after empirical research, some information which are to be collected as per requirement and the information or data analyzed properly, systematically. Then, after analysis, some conclusions are drawn, and then accordingly, different theories are considered so that these are applicable in effective manner. Then the approach reflects the formal and informal structures of the organization, and due weightage is given to the status and roles of personnel in an organization. We know there are two types of employees or groups found in the organization, formal and informal. So in case of formal groups, would find that the groups of employees confined to different departments as per the organization structure, as per the organization chart, they are bound with their activities relating to that specific department. But when we think of some informal structures, that when different people, employees working in different department, they go to canteen, recreation centers, and some other places, and have their own informal groups. They may have some discussion, they may have some decisions which may also affect the organization because that may lead to the strike and other disturbances. So both formal and informal organization structures should be considered for efficient management. Then, contingency theory. So what is the meaning of the word contingency? So it is related mostly to the happening or non-happening of some event. Suppose if today there will be rainfall, so we must take the umbrella for our safety to prevent or to safeguard ourselves from the rainfall. So this is a very simple example, but in different organizations, there may be different contingencies, different unexpected situations, unexpected problems, which are to be faced with proper solutions, timely solutions. Contingency theory emphasizes the structural factors of management. It makes management responsible to make appropriate decision to the need of the situation. So this need of the situation relates to the contingency, happening or non-happening of some event. So need of the situation depends upon the future event. The structure of organization is prone to outside constraints. So there may be outside constraints. Suppose suddenly there is strike, sometimes there is political violence, etc. So in that case, there should be some provision to face the situation with proper solution, with proper decision. Therefore, it is necessary to have a formal and informal organizational system of management to tackle various problems for contingencies. Because in case of contingency, we should not have a differentiation between formal and informal. So all formal and informal groups should be considered with equal importance to face the situation in case of contingency, in case of problem, in case of threat from the outside, from the environment. It is also essential requirement to have a contingency plan to meet such unforeseen situations. So what is this contingency plan? Contingency plan should accommodate the resources to face the situation. So resources may be related to people, related to material, related to the finance, funds, etc. As you know, in case of natural calamities, different government agencies, government departments, in order to face the contingency, in order to face the cyclone, etc., they prepare themselves with sufficient manpower, sufficient funds, sufficient food materials, sufficient vehicles, etc., which is included under the contingency plan. Similarly, in different organizations, to face different situations for production, marketing, etc., there should be some contingency plan. Contingencies can be normally brought under three categories, like technical, administrative, and environmental. So sometimes due to technical defect, disorder, the production is stopped. So what should be done in that contingency situation? So immediate steps should be taken to continue or start the production with some alternatives. Similarly, if we think of administrative contingency, we find that certainly there is transfer of some leaders, there is health problem related to the leaders who are managing the organization, or some other problem takes place, death, etc. Then in that accident, etc. Then in that case, there should be some contingency plan to tackle the situation from correct administration point of view. Then environmental contingency may be there because we know that external environment is not within the control of the organization. So external environment relating to economic environment, political environment, legal environment, etc. These are subject to change. If the law changes immediately, then that law is binding in the organization. If there is natural calamity related to natural environment, that should be taken care of by the organization. So in this way, we find different environmental factors are important for creating some contingent problems which are to be faced successfully in the organization. So most of the contingencies fit into above three categories, and it is a prudent management that analyzes the situation properly and then acts accordingly. So management must be prepared to face the situation in time with appropriate preparation and take actions taken accordingly. The next, motivation theory. In case of motivation theory, we find the importance is given to the word motivation. What is this motivation? We know that in simple words, motivation relates to creation of interest among the people, among the employees to perform their work. And it is very clearly known that if a person is not interested to do the work, then the work cannot be performed in time as per the requirement, as per the procedure, as per the system, as per the purpose. So it is concerned with the work of motivation of employees working in the organization. How the employees can be motivated? Employees can be motivated in different ways, with rewards, recognition, with more financial incentives, with promotion, with external facilities for transportation, accommodation with quarters, housing facilities, recreation facilities, cultural facilities, etc. So, or education facilities for their children, so that they will have more interest, they will be loyal to the organization, they will continue their relationship with the organization, and they will be interested to perform their work properly for the benefit of the organization. The motivation may be in monetary and non-monetary terms, as I have already told you. Some financial incentives may be given if one worker is more efficient and is able to do more work, produce more number of units, then he should be more. So that he will have more interest, and subsequently other employees will be also interested because they may get more financial benefits. The inner talents of any employee can be identified after giving adequate motivation in time in the organization. So, adequate motivation includes so many things, as I have told you, that monetary, non-monetary facilities may be extended to them so that they will have more motivation to have better performance of the work, and there will be efficiency found with the employees. Then scientific management theory. So as there are two important words, scientific as well as management. So these two words interrelated. So we know in simple that management is required for efficient performance of the work to achieve the purpose. But what is scientific management? Scientific management theory mainly gave importance to different levels of employees in the organization. So, if different levels of employees are given importance and accordingly they are properly directed, instructed, motivated to do the work, there will be scientific management. Taylor developed many ideas in scientific management due to his early experience in steel company. His scientific management theory focused attention on performance of job only. He showed how a worker can be made to work efficiently and to increase the production. So, from the past, we find that there are gradual development in different systems, methods, principles, theories, etc., applicable to the organization, so that there can be scientific management with some scientific principles, functions like planning, organization, staffing, organization, coordination, motivation, control, etc. Then administrative theory. So what is this administrative theory? From administrative point of view, for efficient administration of the organization, this theory should be given importance. This theory made its contribution on the managerial aspect of an organization. So long past, we find that gradually this theory has contributed a lot for efficient management of different organizations. The theory is very much associated with proper understanding of the task of management. So if different employees working in different departments at different levels, they do not have proper understanding of the work or task assigned to them, they will not be able to do proper justice to their work. So it provides directions or principles to activate management effectively. So if there is activeness, there are proper directions, there are certain principles to be followed for the performance of different types of work, then we can expect effective management, efficient management in the organization. The guidelines enumerated by the theory on management principles, objectives, and the functions of management should also be given consideration, and this theory has made sufficient contribution on different managerial aspects of the organization. So when we find that there are different systematic principles, directives, policies, procedures, methods, plans developed and implemented in the organization, applied in the organization for efficient management. These are mostly helpful for effective administration. So we find that as per Henry Fayol, who stressed effective management principles from his past experience as a businessman. So he separated technical and administrative activities of management to distinguish them as per some important separate activities. So these important separate activities are given importance because if these activities are given importance each one separately, then automatically each type of work, each function, each principle can be effectively applied in the organization for the better performance of work. Now let us consider what are the different principles to be followed for the efficient management or in the organization. Number one, division of work. So you know that the work performed in the organization may be various, different from each other, performed for different purposes, with different functions, with different procedures, methods, etc. So the total work required for the organization should be divided into different parts. Broadly, we say that organization should have finance department for provision of finance, then marketing department for marketing of products, production department for the production of the different products, purchase department to purchase the materials, machines, etc. Legal department to comply with legal formalities. So like this we find there are so many departments with different functions. So why this departmentalization? Why there is division of work? As per the functions, as per the work related to a particular purpose is confined to that department. And even in one department also, when we find there are different types of activities, suppose in case of production department, there is production of different types of products. Suppose leather products, plastic products, etc. Then for each type of product, there are various activities. And these activities are divided and assigned to different workers so that they can know the work, they can perform the work, they know the procedures, methods, etc. And they know the timing within which the product has to be production to produced and the production should be ready. So now division of work is very important for the organization because as for the division work, the work can be properly controlled, work can be properly analyzed, work can be guided by with proper supervision, etc., so that the employees will have their efficiency to perform the work with required quality, with required quantity, within the required time for the achievement of the purpose. Now, let me go to another aspect which is important, which is called authority and responsibility. So authority and responsibility, these are combined. Why? Because there is a sentence related to this. Authority should commensurate with responsibility. That means where the authority is given, that should not be separated from responsibility. Authority and responsibility should move side by side, simultaneously, so that the employees, the persons concerned, working in the organization, provided with authority, should also know their responsibility. So let us discuss what is authority. Authority is considered as the power, rights given to the person concerned to perform the work. If a particular manager is not given the authority, power, or right to exercise and take decision, give orders, then the work cannot be performed. So this authority empowers the managers, the leaders to take appropriate decisions, timely decisions as per the power, right given to them for the purpose of goal to be achieved. Now, when we find that there is requirement of authority by different leaders, by the managers, then if there is no responsibility, then authority may be misutilized. All of us know that there is scope for misutilization of power. So this power is related to authority. So we need to avoid misutilization of power, or some employees provided with authority will not exercise the authority, will not exercise the power to perform the work, then the organization will not be benefited. There may be loss for the organization. So, when authority is given side by side, responsibility should be fixed to the person concerned, provide authority, so that they will have some fear and they will be disciplined, they will perform their work as per the authority so that the organization will be benefited. So both authority and responsibility should be delegated to the persons concerned. So when we find the authority is transferred from higher level to the middle level, lower level, etc., that is delegation, transfer of authority, transfer of power. Then with the transfer of power authority, responsibility should also be fixed with the persons concerned to utilize the authority power to perform their work. Then let us go to see what is the next important point to be considered under administrative theory for efficient management. This is considered as discipline. So you know that everywhere, from the starting from the family to the state to the country to the world at large, discipline is required everywhere. If there is discipline, then the work will be performed in a systematic manner, in a timely manner to achieve the purpose. So here we find discipline to be given importance in different organizations with various rules, regulations, etc., actions, etc. So, in order to ensure discipline in the organization should have certain rules, regulations, procedures, manual, methods, plans, etc. And the employees are required to follow these rules, regulations, etc., so that their work will be disciplined. They cannot deviate from the rules and regulations. If there is any deviation, then action should be taken for such deviation. The employees concerned who are found indisciplined, they should be punished in time so that in future such indisciplined activity will not take place. So from this point of view, there should be discipline in each and every department in the organization so that the employees will remember their work, they will not be disturbed, they will perform the work in time, in a systematic manner as per the requirement. Then let us go to the next aspect, that is unity of command. Unity of command. The command, the order should move from top to bottom, and one superior should give command order to the next subordinate to perform the work. So this unity of command can be better explained with an example. Suppose there is one typist in a particular office, and there are two officers who require their typing work with the or by the typist. Now, if both the officers give instruction to the typist to do a particular work, typing work, immediately within the fixed time without any delay, then the typist cannot decide which work to be done first. So similarly, in different organizations, in different departments, there are different commanding officers, there are subordinates who receive the instructions, orders, directions, and implement them according to the requirement. So if there is unity of command, then automatically there will be timely performance, and the subordinate employees will not hesitate to do the work as they can decide promptly which work to be done at what time. The next important point is unity of direction. So unity of command, unity of direction, these two may be confused, but unity of direction is related to the performance of work in a particular direction towards the achievement of the goal. So if all the employees working in the department or in different departments, they know the goal of the organization. They know in which direction they should perform their work so that organization will be benefited. Then accordingly, they will perform the work. So if there is necessity of maintaining the unity of direction in the organization in different departments. Next one is subordination. What is subordination? In different organizations, different departments, we find there are certain superior employees and subordinate employees. Superior employees who are at the top level management consider their subordinate employees to follow their directions, instructions, orders, etc. And similarly, the leaders, the managers in the mid-level management, they consider themselves as the superior to the lower-level employees. So when there is superior subordinate relationship established in the organization in different departments, it is very much clear that the subordinate employees should follow the orders, instructions, etc. of the superior employees for the performance of different work as per requirement to achieve the purpose. And it should be in the general interest of the organization. It should be directed towards the achievement of the profit if it is a business organization. If there is necessity for provision of better services, better quality products, then that should be given importance through subordination of different individual employees. So in this subordination and superior relationship should be given importance for effective organization and efficient management. Now, let us go to the next point, remuneration. This remuneration is related to financial part, financial activity. So, when we think of remuneration, that is maybe alternatively known as reward given to the employees for the exchange of their services. If they serve the organization as per the requirement for 1 day, for 1 month, then accordingly there are different types of payment systems. In case of 1 day work, daily wages are given to the workers when they perform the work, complete the work assigned to them within a day. And as per the number of days they have worked, the payment is calculated and given to them as a remuneration for their services. But in case of the regular employees working for months together and they perform the work without any discontinuity as found in case of daily workers, then in that case they may be paid as monthly salaries or monthly wages. So monthly salary is calculated as per the pay scale, any dearness allowance, any other allowance, housing allowance, etc. So that's all these are considered for payment of the monthly salaries and wages according to different categories of employees working in different departments with different knowledge, skill, experience, etc. in different positions. Now, this remuneration is important because if the remuneration is not satisfactory to the employees, then there will be disturbances they may go for strike, demanding higher salaries, higher wages, etc. Now, this remuneration should be fixed for different employees according to their knowledge, position, skill, experience, efficiency, etc. So here, this remuneration should be given priority, importance in the organization for different employees in order to motivate them, in order to satisfy them, in order to have loyalty among them, so that there will be continuity in the relationship of employees with the management, with the organization, and by that the organization will have long-term goal to be achieved with such long-term continuity of the employees as per the satisfactory appropriate remuneration. Next, equity. So equity is related to some extent to standardization, equal treatment, equal facilities, and equal constitution. There should not be any discrimination. We know the word discrimination, differentiation in the treatment or provision of facilities, opportunities to different employees working in different departments. If there is discrimination, automatically it will create problem. Some employees may be dissatisfied, they may become indisciplined, they may create problems, they may leave the organization, so that the organization will be affected. If the work cannot be completed, work cannot be done in time as per the requirement. Suppose in case of production, if there is target for production and the marketing people has fixed the target that the product should be ready for marketing within the end of this month. So if some employees go for strike due to some disturbances, due to differentiation, discrimination, then the work will be affected and the target cannot be achieved. So from this point of view, this equity should be given importance, and all the employees working in different departments in different categories should be provided appropriate facilities, because as per the requirement, the furniture should be provided for sitting, for writing tables, and other amenities may be available, so that workers will not face any problem. So this important principle or important point should be given very much importance for the organization effectiveness. The next one is stability of tenure. Stability of tenure. Tenure means continuity, related to continuity of service, and different employees, if they know that they are going to retire at the age of 60, the period of service, then automatically they will be interested to continue till the retirement with the organization if all the facilities are available, if they are satisfied with the work, and by that the organization is being benefited. So for this continuity and stability in the tenure, as I have already told you, that remuneration part, motivation part, and responsibility part, authority part, so all these are to be given importance, because these are connected with the stability of tenure. The employees who are satisfied, who want to continue till the end of the tenure, till the retirement, then automatically they are, due to their loyalty, they are due to their continuity, due to their relationship, sustainable relationship available for the organization will have some efficiency in the performance of work, quality of work, and there will be better result, a more profit, and increased goodwill for the organization. Next is initiative. So this word initiative is related to some innovation, something new, and the employees who are efficient, who know more, they should be provided with the facilities to have some initiative in the work. If they want to do the work in a better way, with their initiative, with their efforts, with their knowledge, with their experience, then they should be allowed to perform the work with better quality. And if they know that this work can be completed within short time, then the time fixed with some initiative, with some new ideas, with some new activities, then they should be able to do the work with proper guidance, with proper permission. The next one is teamwork. This teamwork is required in different groups, in different departments, in different organizations, in different places, whether it is a state or country or world level organization. So in each department in the organization, we know there are group of employees considering the team for the performance of work related to that specific organization. So teamwork, for example, the production team. Production team assigned with the production of particular product to be completed within a fixed time with required quality and quantity. Then the workers working in the production department, they should perform their work with team spirit. So how there can be team spirit? So they should maintain good relationship among each other. They should cooperate with each other, and with proper cooperation, there can be coordination in the performance work. As we know, the production process is interrelated. There are different stages of production. While processing the raw material to produce the finished product, there are different stages, and at each stage, there are some workers. They should complete the work in time. So particularly in case of assembling section, we find that there are different, in a big hall, there are different team of workers. They are ready to perform their work. When the work comes from previous team to the next team, they should be ready to perform the work, because that work again it will be passed to another group of employees to perform the work. So that is timely work. And if the employees know that this is teamwork and other employees should not be affected, the work of the organization should not be affected, the work should be complete in time as per the requirement. The number of products should be produced with proper quality. Then this teamwork is very important. So from this point, in each and every organization, teamwork should be ensured with unity, with motivation, with direction, with control, etc. Now, let us go to another aspect that is related to the scalar chain. Scalar chain is an important principle to be understood and followed, because scalar chain relates to the continuity in the link established in the organization. For example, if we analyze the parts of a chain, any vehicle, maybe two-wheeler, etc., there are different parts in the chain. When different parts of the chain are interlinked, connected properly, strongly, then the chain will be able to perform the work. for running the vehicle. So similarly, if we apply this thought to the organization, we find that in the organization there are different parts, just like the chain. And employees working in different parts should form the chain with proper link, with strong link, so that the teamwork can be possible without any breakage, without any discontinuity, so that this will help in the timely performance of the work, whether it is production, marketing, or any function related to the organization. So that will be complete as per the requirement with teamwork, and this teamwork is possible with proper chain. And similarly, scalar chain we also consider, because just like in a different scales for measurement, we find different parts of the scale. If we combine different parts of the scale, then we can measure whether it is a meter or a foot, etc. So this scalar chain principle is applicable as different parts to be considered as united, connected properly to perform the required work. Then another point which is also important, that is centralization. Centralization and decentralization. Centralization, when we find centralization of authority, that means all decisions are taken by the top level management. Suppose in a company, chairman, managing director, board of directors, they take all decisions, and the department managers are not allowed to take decision at their level for their departments, then there may be some problem. So, in order to avoid this problem, with centralization, there may be to some extent decentralization, transfer of authority, transfer of power. So when different department managers are given some authority power, then we can say that they will be able to take decision at their time, because in case of centralization, there is a lot of problems. There will be delay in taking decision. The decision may be found wrong and will affect the whole organization. But if there is decentralization, then decision can be taken in time by the concerned authorities, by the concerned managers, due to decentralization of power or authority. So in different organizations, in small organizations, there may be centralization of authority, but in case of big organizations, there should be decentralization. And this is related to authority power. Similarly, centralization of facilities, centralization of services, decentralization of services, etc. may be considered. Decentralization of services, suppose in an organization, there is one diary section, one dispatch section. So one receiving section which receives all types of letters relating to different departments of the organization. Similarly, one dispatch section sends different letters, etc., to outside, received from different departments in the organization. So by that there may be delay. So in that case, different departments may have their own receiving section and dispatch sections, so that they can easily receive the letters coming to the organization for specific purpose in time. They can process it and can send the reply through the dispatch section. So in this way, different types of services, filing services, recording, record keeping, etc. So many services which can be centralized and decentralized in the organization. Then let me tell you about the next point, which is also important, that is proper order. So proper order is to be ensured in the organization. If there is proper order, everything is performed, different types of work performed as per the order, as per the requirement, as per the quality, as per the quantity, as per the time, then we can say there is maintenance of order in the organization. And to ensure that type of order to be established in the organization, there should be establishment of certain rules and regulations, plans, procedures, methods and systems to be followed by the employees working in different departments of the organization, and by that there can be efficiency in the management of the organization. So with the increased efficiency of the employees, with proper order, there can be increase in profit, growth of the organization, and increase in the goodwill. So in this way, we find that there are different important points to be considered for the efficient management of any organization. Let us go to the summary as we are going to conclude the discussion. Now, under summary, let me tell you that the organizational theories are very helpful to study an organization, its designs, structures, and behavior of individuals or groups. So, different theories I have already explained, discussed in this class, should be applicable to the organization to know, formulate different designs, to have proper structures, and expect proper behavior of different individuals or groups working in the organization in different departments. The scholars, the learners related to the management theories, organizational theories, principles, etc., should give importance to this aspect of management for increasing efficiency and proper development. The results may not be constantly expected in certain situations because of certain problems. In the long past, there might have been some problems, but gradually these problems have been solved with some new methods found and applied in the organization. So with the development of new changes, new techniques, new methods, new perspectives, new ideas, there is also purpose of work in different organizations with better quality, increased quantity, then less time, and with attractive design, better services, etc., which are added to the effective organization as per the different theories applicable in the efficient management. So we find that though in the past there are certain problems created in different organizations due to some lacking in the thoughts, theories applicable in the organization, nowadays we find that these problems have been solved and different organizations following these different theories, applying these theories for the efficient management have been benefited to a great extent, so that these principles of management, these organizational theories are to be given importance for all time to come in the future for the benefit of the people, employees, stakeholders, etc. So with this, let me conclude this discussion as per the assigned course and unit for today's time. Thank you all for this patient hearing.